Hi friends, MD Vegan. I'm making persimmon ice cream today. That is a Blitz ice. Usually I make that with bananas, but you can actually take any fruit, almost, freeze it. Yeah. Here I have some super ripe persimmons. I got a whole bunch of them, a basket, and because they seem to be right in season, it's the end of the year. And then when they begin to come in season, originally grown in China, now all over the planet, in warm countries they grow, all over. It's one of the most grown fruits on the planet. I mean, apples are more of course, but one of the most ancient fruits that is grown is persimmon, and it's really wonderful. It's full of nutrients, wonderful vitamins, minerals, fiber, high in fiber, and a very special fiber that is for the texture. You know, you blend the persimmon, even if it's almost runny, so soft inside, so gelatinous. You blend it and it turns into a pudding. The change of the texture when you blend these fruit, so amazing, something I like to explore. As I made all of persimmon recipes with all these pudding effects and so smoothies, cakes, and that's all very nice. You can look it up, MD Vegan on YouTube. You have the persimmon, you look for persimmon and you find their list of recipes. Very nice. Today I just froze them and processed them into an ice cream. And if you have this food processor, this is what you need. I mean, you can also blend them in a high-speed blender, for example. You can do that too. But the blades of the high-speed blender, they're very fast. There's a lot of energy, and so they're melting the ice cream. And you won't have the nice scoops. Now, the scoops you only get if you really want that. You have to use this one. Yeah, this is with the S blade. That's the favorite tool for ice cream. Blitz ice. You know, if you want to make an ice cream a traditional way, you just make the base and then you freeze it either in a freezer or in an ice cream maker, either way, and then you have the ice cream wonderful and nice and so. But the fast way, the Blitz ice, is this. You have to freeze the fruit and then you process it. Very simple. And you go to Israel, for example, I was there on vacation, they have it all over the streets, these little houses, shops where you can buy fruit, fresh fruit, all kinds. It's a warm country, they have all kinds of fruit in the little shops there. And the people go there and say, I want an ice cream with this and this fruit. And they open the freezer, take out the fruit, put it into a blender, have ice cream. They sell fresh ice cream like that. That is something common, I didn't know that. When I was there, I began to think about that and say, yeah, I can do that too. Today I make it with persimmon. And I want to preserve the persimmon flavor. This is gentle, sweet flavor. As I said, very, very healthy. That's also why it is so common. It's a wonderful flavor. You know, I have these big chunks here. And I waited for weeks. I had to wait, really literally, weeks, until my persimmon that I got from the shop were really soft. And now they begin to turn soft. Yesterday that was. And I took the softest out, the very soft, cut them into pieces like this, and froze them. And so overnight they're freezing. And now I can take them out of the freezer, as many as I want, because I have these pieces. Put them into the food processor with the S blade, and I will season them only with date and cinnamon. That is a very easy recipe for persimmon. I would say that's a classic. You blend the persimmon, just do a little bit of date and cinnamon, and you have a perfect persimmon pudding. But now I make an ice cream. I have date mousse here. Of course you need, when you're making a Blitz ice, you need the date mousse. How to make that, I show you in another video, linked under this video. Just blending dates with a little bit of water, then you have the date mousse. It keeps for a week or so, a little bit longer maybe. And a tablespoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon is the perfect sweetener, seasoning for sweets. For sweet desserts, because cinnamon is a bark. It's from a tree, the outside of a tree. It's very hard, and it has an earth character, very strong earth character. It's a little bit bitter, I would say. Or no, they call it sweet, that cinnamon flavor, but it's very dry flavor, and so it's perfect to balance the high sugar content of fruit and sweet desserts. So I like to put cinnamon into sweet desserts. It's a classic everywhere, and it's also very healthy because the cinnamon is super high in antioxidants And that's one of the most important things the health scientists look for, and they study what is healthy in the food. It's very much is the antioxidants. That's super high in cinnamon. So I put that now here into the blender and food processor. A tablespoon of cinnamon, not too much because it's a bark. You ground it and you grind it, and then the little seeds, the little pieces of the cinnamon, they don't break down any further. They remain, have a certain hard texture that remains. And if you take too much of the cinnamon, the flavor might be nicer, but then you have a texture very coarse. So more than a tablespoon I wouldn't take here, otherwise it becomes coarse. The texture, you can get it very smooth. But together with the dates and the persimmon, it might be a wonder for ice cream. I never made it. Let's see. It took a little bit longer, so I went off video because you know, it was a very cold persimmon cubes and pieces, and so they took a little bit longer, and then they began to jump up the sides, and so I had to stop in between and push down the sides to help to turn it over a little bit. But it was no problem. It took a minute longer or so. Didn't want to have you all the video here with that. But now when I have a look at that, that looks pretty perfect to me. This is what ice cream looks like, right? And the color is so different now. You see, this is the bright orange. You see it's still here. And this is what becomes from the, you know, the change of texture is so clearly. That is the fascinating effect of this fantastic fiber. Fiber is something that people believe early on is something we cannot digest. Yeah, that's what they said is fiber. But now we know in science, the fiber is has very important nutrients, and it also contributes to the production of very highly necessary nutrients for our body. So that not just not to digest, you can make these scoops, you see, with this, because I have this food processor. They wouldn't work with a blender. Then the ice cream would already be molten, melted, and then you can still have a nice ice cream, yeah? But not with scoops. Yeah? Yeah. So the fiber does that to us. It's very healthy. But food without fiber is not healthy. Very simple. And plants are the only place where you can get fiber. So that's also an indicator that plant food might be our food for humans. Yeah. That is the healthiest food for us plants. And also look at the fiber. And the fiber is also something that creates these fantastic textures. Yeah? And the funny thing is, that doesn't seem to be well known in the cooking world. Yeah? What you can do with fiber, how you can create these textures. That's why a little bit I'm researching on that, just in my daily recipes here. I'm not a big researcher, but I'm interested in that, and I found that persimmon is really amazing in this. You see that beautiful texture here of these persimmon ice scoops? Beautiful color. I will enjoy it right away. I can't wait too long now, it's running away. I have to hurry. But you could also add orange, for example. And the next step may be orange flavor to the persimmon, or fall flavors like cloves, nutmeg or so, in a different way to evolve, or could banana put in there, or other fruit. Many ways to work with persimmon. I'm just beginning. Yeah. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like my video, subscribe, and be vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.